Hello and welcome to the English podcast with Ayesh. Here, we practice English together, slowly, clearly, and step by step. Let's learn and grow your English today.
Sure. Start today by asking you, and yeah, I'm talking to everyone listening right now, to just visualize a very specific moment.
Okay.
You've just spent, I don't know, an hour, maybe two, watching YouTube videos on productivity, or maybe you've been deep in some thread titled, 10 ways to optimize your morning routine.
Oh yeah, I know this feeling.
You've saved like 3 different podcasts because the titles just sounded life-changing. You feel energized. You feel smart.
You're vibrating with potential. It's a great feeling.
It is. But then you turn off the screen, you look at your actual to-do list or that messy corner of the room or the project you've been meaning to start, and nothing.
Silence.
It's worse than silence. It's static. It's that feeling where your brain was just running at 100 miles an hour, but the second you try to actually do something, the engine just stalls.
And we're talking about the blank mind?
The blank mind. We've all been there. It is that paralysis that hits you right when you're supposed to be most inspired. And today, we are doing a deep...
One is this piece called Beyond Consumption. And its central argument is, well, it's pretty confronting. It suggests the reason we feel stuck isn't because we don't know enough.
It's because we know too much. It's the paradox of information overload. That there's this tipping point where learning stops being helpful for growth and actually starts becoming the obstacle.
Which is a terrifying thought for a show literally dedicated to learning things.
It is ironic, isn't it?
We're basically the dealers of this drug.
But the mission today is to get you from that state of, passive consumption, just hoarding facts, to actual active growth. We have to dismantle what keeps us stuck, and to do that, we have to talk about the graveyard.
Oh, don't bring up the graveyard.
We have to. We have to talk about the watch later list.
I knew you were going there. I was looking at my watch later list on YouTube yesterday, and honestly, it's an archaeological dig.
I believe it. It's a museum of my past identities. There are videos in there from 3 years ago about how to master Python in 30 days. Spoiler alert, I still don't know a single line of Python.
But do you remember how you felt when you clicked save?
Oh, absolutely. I felt accomplished. I felt like future me was going to be a coder, Future me was going to build apps, present me, just hit a button, but I got all the credit for it emotionally.
That is the trap. That this digital hoarding, this pile of unread books, unwatched videos, it creates a psychological weight.
It's debt. It feels like emotional debt.
Exactly. And most of that stuff never gets watched. And even the tiny bit that you do watch, very, very few of those lessons are ever actually used. We think more learning equals more growth. Opposite.
If you learn too much, you learn nothing.
That's the one.
So let's get into the mechanics of this because it feels like we're doing the right thing. Why does consuming all this high-quality advice lead to paralysis?
Well, let's look at the landscape. The trap of conflicting advice. I mean, open your phone right now, scroll your feed, what do you see?
Okay. Hypothetically, first post, a guy who's like 4% body fat yelling at me that if I'm not in the gym by 4 a.m., I don't want it bad enough.
Right. Sleep is for the weak.
Exactly.
Fine.
Standard hustle culture. Now, I swipe up. What's next?
What's the very next video?
It's a neuroscientist with a soft voice telling me that cortisol is the enemy, and if I don't get 8 hours of sleep, I'm going to burn out and die young.
Okay, so go hard versus soft living. Swipe again.
Next one is monk mode. Isolate yourself. Cut off all distractions. Don't talk to anyone for 6 months.
And after that?
Your network is your net worth. Get out there. Meet people. If you aren't networking, you're invisible.
And this is the core conflict. It's not just that there's a lot of information. It's that it's all pointing in completely opposite directions. Cognitive whiplash.
That's a great term. It really does feel like that.
Well, think about what it does to your brain. Your brain wants to find the correct path to conserve energy. But when you feed it, wake up early and sleep in at the same time, it creates a logic error.
So it freezes.
It freezes.
Yeah.
It's risk aversion. If you choose the hustle path, you might burn out. If you choose the sleep path, you might fail. So the safest option for the brain is to choose neither.
And just stay in the state of researching.
Exactly. Because as long as you're just researching, you haven't made the wrong choice yet. You haven't failed.
But you also haven't moved.
Not an inch. The consensus trap. We're all subconsciously waiting for all the experts to agree before we take a single step.
But they never will.
Never. There's no consensus on how to live. But we stay paralyzed, waiting for it.
It's like trying to have a perfect 1.1 scale map of the world before you even step out your front door.
And as a result, the car just stays in the garage forever.
This leads us to a concept in the really sticky. They call it productive procrastination.
It's the most dangerous kind because it wears a disguise. It looks like work.
Right.
If you're playing video games for 8 hours, you know you're wasting time. You feel guilty. The guilt is the signal.
Yeah. You know you should be doing something else.
But if you spend 8 hours watching tutorials on, I don't know, how to edit video, you tell yourself you're working. You're preparing.
I'm investing in my skills. I've definitely said that.
But are you?
Yeah.
This brutal line that really cuts through it all. Learning without action is just entertainment.
Ouch. That's rough. That stings a little.
It does. But think about it. If you watch a documentary about space, that's entertainment, right?
Yeah.
You aren't going to be an astronaut. It's just interesting.
Sure.
So if you watch a documentary about business strategy, but you don't start a business, how is that functionally different?
Well, it feels different because of the intent. I intend to use it eventually.
But the brain doesn't care about your intent. It
Yeah.
cares about your behavior. And the behavior is passive consumption. Use this learning as an emotional shield
A shield against what?
against the fear of the gap between your taste and your ability.
Okay, unpack that.
So you have good taste, you know what a good video looks like, or a good business, or a good loaf of bread. You've seen the experts do it. But you know deep down that if you tried it right now,
It would be a disaster. My first love for bread would be a brick.
exactly. And that gap between what you know is good and what you can actually do, it's painful. It's
Mhm.
embarrassing. So to avoid that pain, you just go back to watching. Because when you watch an expert, you vicariously experience their competence.
Wow. So watching the tutorial is a way to feel the success without suffering through the clumsiness of the process.
It's a sedative. You tell yourself, I'm not ready yet. I just need to understand one more thing. No, you don't. You need to handle the fact that your first attempt is going to suck.
And social media makes this so much worse with the whole aesthetic of clean learning.
Oh, it's a whole genre. The study web aesthetic.
It is. It's so pristine. The beige notebook, the perfect pen, the latte art.
Rofi beats in the background. The handwriting is calligraphy. It looks so peaceful.
It looks like they have everything under control. But real learning isn't like that, is it?
No. Real learning is messy. It's frustrating. It's rewriting the same sentence 6 times. It's your code breaking and you have no idea why.
It's the blooper tape.
It's all blooper tape. Fuse the performance of learning with the act of learning. When we hit our own bloopers, we think, I'm doing this wrong. I must need to study more.
And we retreat back to the safety of consumption. It's a vicious cycle.
Correct. And the only way to break it is to change your relationship with mistakes. A mistake isn't a sign to stop. It's the material of learning. It's the error signal you need.
Okay, so if we accept we're hoarding information as a shield, what's the antidote? I can't just delete the internet.
The solution they propose is radical simplicity. It's a mantra. Learn less, do more.
Learn less. That sounds almost anti-intellectual.
It's not about being ignorant. It's about the ratio. Right now, most of us are at, 90% input reading, watching, and 10% output. We have to flip that.
The language. I think that really clarifies it.
This is my favorite part. Okay, imagine 2 people trying to learn Spanish. Person A is the perfect student. Buys 3 grammar books, keeps their Duolingo streak.
Knows all the rules, can conjugate a verb on paper perfectly.
Exactly. But they are terrified to speak because they haven't mastered it yet. Now, look at person B. Person B knows maybe 50 words, but they go to a Spanish bar and just try to talk for 20 minutes a day.
And they sound like a caveman. Me want beer.
Totally. They look foolish, they make mistakes constantly, but here's the neurological reality. Person B is learning. Person A is just memorizing.
What's the difference in the brain?
It's the feedback loop. Person B is experiencing the struggle. When they reach for a word and can't find it, their brain marks that gap as an emergency. It says, hey, we needed this. This is important.
So the memory sticks.
It sticks like glue. Whereas person A, sitting with their textbook, there are no stakes, no struggle. You don't need more motivation videos. You need the struggle. We treat the struggle like it's the enemy.
But the struggle is the teacher.
It's the only teacher. You can't read your way into doing push-ups. You just have to do the push-ups. You can know the perfect biomechanics, but if you don't get on the floor and push, you have 0 strength.
Okay, so how do we operationalize this? The habit of clicking that next video is so strong. Strategy. The power of one.
This is the practical toolkit. The power of one is designed to cut through all that noise. It asks you to drastically restrict your input.
So instead of 5 podcasts, just 1.
Even more specific, you choose one skill, you choose one goal, And this is the hardest part. You choose one source of truth.
One source. But what if it's wrong? What if there's a better method?
That fear right there, that is the paralysis talking. The better method is irrelevant if you never execute the good enough method. The advice is pick one expert, one book, one course, and just follow their system for, say, 30 days. Ignore everything else.
So if I want to get fit, I pick one workout program and I mute the sleep scientist and the monk mode guy.
Yes, because any movement is better than perfect stationary analysis. The action creates clarity, not more information.
That's a huge mindset shift. We always wait for clarity before we act.
It's completely backward. You act first. The action generates data. Oh, my knees hurt when I do that, or I hate running at 5 a.m. That data gives you the clarity to adjust. You cannot think your way into clarity.
You have to stumble your way into it. I need that on a t-shirt.
It's true. In school, you study, then you take the test. In life, you take the test, and that's how you study.
Okay, let's talk about the pause technique from the source. Even with this philosophy, that addiction to the feed is real. I'm feeling anxious. I see a thumbnail. 5 skills that will make you a millionaire.
So tempting. It promises a solution.
It's irresistible. My thumb is hovering. What do I do in that exact moment?
Okay, a 3-step intervention. Step 1. Physical pause. Just catch the impulse.
Yeah.
Stop your hand.
Okay, thumb is frozen.
Step 2. Ask the question. Not what can I learn, but what is the smallest action I can take right now related to this?
So if the video is about writing a bestseller, the action isn't watching it.
The action is writing one sentence or opening a Google Doc.
And step 3.
Do that small thing first.
Yeah.
Before the video.
Ah.
And here's the magic trick. Usually, once you write that sentence or do that one push-up, the anxiety just it dissipates.
Yeah.
You realize you didn't need the information, you needed the momentum.
It breaks the trance.
It proves to yourself that you are a creator, not just a consumer. And often, after doing the work, you don't even want to watch the video anymore.
Because the video is just a pacifier for the anxiety of not working.
Exactly. You've treated the root cause.
Yeah.
You don't need the medicine.
That is incredibly empowering. It shifts the agency right back to us. We're not victims of the algorithm.
They're just using it to hide.
Ah.
And we have to stop hiding.
So, as we wrap this up, let's circle back. The blank mind. We feel blank because we're stuffed full of other people's ideas with no room for our own.
We've outsourced our thinking. We're letting them do the mental reps for us.
We've talked about the trap of conflicting advice, the watch later graveyard, the illusion of productive procrastination.
And we've debunked the whole aesthetic of perfect learning. We're embracing the messy, mistake-ridden reality of actual growth.
Learn less. Do more. It's so simple, but it requires courage. The courage to be imperfect.
It requires trusting that you already know enough to start. That's the key. You, listening right now, you already have enough information to take the first step.
You don't need another...
You need to close the gap between knowing and doing.
Because that gap is where the anxiety lives. And closing it is where life lives.
Beautifully said.
Now, usually, this is where I tell you to subscribe and check out other episodes, but in the spirit of today's source, I'm not going to do that.
We're going to challenge you instead.
Yes. Here is the challenge. We don't want you to just nod, say, that was interesting, and let autoplay start the next episode.
Please, for the love of everything, do not binge listen to this show right now.
Don't do it. We want you to take one idea from what we just discussed. Maybe it's the power of one. Maybe it's the pause technique.
Take that one thing, turn off this podcast, and go do it right now.
Give yourself 10 minutes of output.
Just prove to yourself that you can move.
What happens here in the audio. The deep dive is what happens when you put the phone down.
That's where the real work begins.
Thank you for listening. Now turn us off and go get messy.
Go do the thing.